Okay, hi, my name is Rebecca and I'm an intern here at the Naples Zoo. So first I would like to thank you guys for coming out to the zoo today. A portion of your admission ticket does go to conservation for these animals in the wild. And I wanted to thank you for coming over to one of the most fantastic animals that we have. It's the giraffe herd. Now, we have 5 boys here in our giraffe herd, and this was done on purpose. In the wild, we will normally encounter bachelor herds, and this is relatively, all of them will be in the same age range, and they will normally walk together and before they are ready to go off and breed. Now, in our breeding herds, we don't have one here, but at breeding zoos, they normally have one male to all the females, and this to prevent necking. Now, the giraffe neck in this enclosure in order for dominance, so we did have our tan one was in charge for a while, and more recently, one of our oldest giraffe became the dominant one. And they will swing their necks into each other with their ossicles on top of their head, and they do this in order to, oh goodness, in order to assert dominance. And this can go on a few minutes, and then a third giraffe will come in if it's taking too long or if it's too aggressive or annoying. Now, just one second. So they actually have 7 vertebrae, just as many as we do in our neck, only theirs are larger. Obviously, their necks are 6 feet long, and the males can stand up to 18 to 19 feet tall. The females will be 15 to 16 feet tall. Okay. When they are full grown, their hooves are the size of dinner plates, which is one of the reasons why we do not go in with the giraffes. They can kick forwards, backwards, and to the side, and with their power, they are able to decapitate lions in the wild. So obviously, we don't go in with them. They can also run up to 35 miles per hour. In the wild, they won't really do it here because they have everything they need here, and as you can tell, we have no predators in with them. Now, we're told not to stick our tongues out at people, but our giraffe here haven't learned that. So if we can get them to show off their tongue. So their tongue is 16 to 18 inches long, and it is blackened or purple for sun protection because they are out so often in the wild because they eat browse, which is they eat off trees instead of on the ground like grazers and zebras do. So they use this tongue, which is prehensile, so as you can tell, it will curl around the piece of lettuce in order to pull it in, and their saliva is actually very sticky, and that's because their favorite tree in the wild is the acacia tree, and those are covered with thorns, and this also coats the thorns in their throats and stomachs to protect them from getting poked by the thorns. Okay. Also, when they eat, they don't have top teeth except for their back molars, so they only have teeth on their bottom jaw and on their molars in the top and the bottom, and this will strip the bark and the leaves off. They will also eat the bark, so if we do have a piece of browse up, they will not only eat the leaves, but they will also strip it of bark. So they do this, and it's no harm to them. It's actually something they enjoy to soak up all the nutrients. Okay. They are 4-stomached animals, which are called ruminants, just like cows are. So they will eat their food, and then they will go off and they will stand. Kind of looks like they're staring off into space, and then you'll see them chew. So they're chewing their cud, which is what ruminants do in order to digest tough plant material. None of them seem to be doing it right now. And can anyone tell me how long that they sleep for?
15 minutes.
Close. They do sleep for about 5 to 10 minutes at a time, but in total they sleep to 1 to 3 hours. In general, they do this standing up or laying down, and this is in order to make sure that they are not being attacked by their predators who happen to sleep 20 hours a day. So they will normally have one giraffe in the herd alert and awake to make sure everyone there is safe. And because of their height, if they are surrounded by other prey animals, they will go and they will alert each other of incoming predators. They are one of 4 species. They are reticular giraffes, and they have, each one of them has specific coat patterns, and this is how we identify them. for trainers. They also will use this for thermal regulation. So blood vessels are specified for each color that they have. So the darker spots are warmer and the white spots are cooler. What we also do is we hang up some enrichment for them, which you can see on the pulleys over here and in the back. And this is just a way that they can think while they eat about how to get the food out. So we'll put them in different contraptions. Today we hung up a watermelon. They really didn't know what to think of it, so we'll give that another try another time. Other times we hang up a water jug with holes in the bottom for water to cool them off. We also have toys for them and other different things that we can put food into. Over there is the green chute, and that is used for training. Now that's the way we can get our giraffe through one at a time, and we do this so that we have personalized training with them. Now in there we can touch their hooves, practice for blood draws, or we have a station marker for them to work on. They eat 100 pounds of grain a day in the summer. We just changed that from 110 pounds, and we offer that. We just put it up now. Otherwise it's in the back for later. Otherwise they have alfalfa that they can get anytime they want throughout the day, and then they can come up here if they want for romaine lettuce. Does anyone have any questions?
Why is only one eating and the others not coming over for food?
Well, this is something that we do not force them to come to, so they can come up to this if they want to. He's really comfortable with coming up to it. We have, the tan one has started coming up to it more often, but he really loves this, so they tend to give him some space.
The one that came up is actually more dominant than this one. It was just didn't feel hungry. Right, just so when you come up to me around the
Do you breed the giraffes? Do you have babies at all and things?
We don't have a breeding program here, and we have not had the babies. We've had these guys since they were 1 year old each. So they're now, the oldest one's 8 and the youngest is 7. So when we do have someone who wants to breed with our giraffe, we will send out our giraffe to them. But the way our giraffe are not very valuable right now in the program, so they will most likely stay here.
When you say you send them to giraffe, how do you send a giraffe?
We have a trailer that we don't have here, but it's brought to us, and we can crank it up for them to get in, and then we lower it down to the specified height requirement. But this is to make them lay down and not pace, and then they will bring the truck to whichever zoo it is, and then they'll crank it back up so they can exit the trailer.
Do they make noise?
They will grind their teeth sometimes. There has been a recent study where they will produce very low decibels of like a hum that you can't really hear, and you need special equipment to hear. We don't ride them for a few reasons. They're not comfortable with it, and the way their back is sloped, we can't exactly ride them. Are there any more questions? Alright, I'll hang around out here for a few more minutes, but we do have some rules if you want to feed our giraffes. We prefer if you keep the leaves whole so you don't break them off. It's easier for them to grab. If you have a small child, please put them on your hip. Don't put them any higher, and don't pull them over because they do have very large heads and we don't want any accidents. If you are having a picture taken on your phone, please have your camera ready. We don't want the giraffe to get upset because you're pulling away the lettuce. We also have an amazing photographer here who will take pictures for you. Thank you.
Good job, Beth. Good job.
Get one and then I'll go.